All right, hello everyone. I can't complain really. Sometimes it does keep me out of trouble in regards to taking sub-poor setups as well. So, my method is the 4 hour, and I've been doing that for some time, mostly trend trading, to be honest. Sometimes I'll get a little carried away and think I'm a breakout guy or a reversal trader, and that will, hurt me. But, my main focus is trend trading. Now, I was looking into the 1 hour systems, and, that's not too bad. But, my main concern is there's a lot of noise. So I've been back testing that. And the win rate is, it's something you've got to get used to. It was actually around 38%. So that means majority of the time you're actually losing, but it was pretty profitable. It was making around, from one currency pair, I was making around 10 to 20%, every 6 months. So I would do like 40 trades and then I would go to another currency pair. And that's just one strategy that I sort of employ when I'm back testing. We can get into a whole video about that, but this is an end of week update. So in regards to trades that I took, there was none. There were no trades. At the start of the week, I did put a thesis together for potentially going long the USD yen, and that didn't work out in the end. Like if you just pull the USD yen chart up, there's a daily trend line that it's been respecting for quite some time, and it did not it didn't want to bounce off that. So you can look into the analysis of the fundamentals and whatnot, but it seemed that Donald Trump's tweet on the USD being too strong did sort of end the week pretty badly for the US dollar. And then we rolled into, it was Sunday night. Now I don't think, for my server anyway, or my platform, the market wasn't open. So my market opens at 5 a.m. Perth time. So actually, no, it would have been open, because he made the tweet. Donald made the tweet at 11:30 Washington time on Sunday night about Iran and threatening Iran. So that again, freaked traders out a little bit. But it did not want to bounce off the trend line, so I disregarded it. But it wasn't like, then it sort of recovered, but really didn't give me any bullish confirmation to get into a buy trade. So that would have been another trade on the USD, and I bought it earlier in the month. I got in on the 11th of July, and I sold out on the 18th. So, and I made 2.5%, and I was pretty pleased with that. It just didn't. It had signs of exhaustion. Once it got to 113, there was a wiki candle which sort of suggested a top, and I actually got out with discretion. I did not. I had the trailing exit, but I was like, you know what? It's hard to describe really. I mean, I've just, if you look at so many charts and you keep repeating, you sort of see, what could potentially happen. You've seen it all before, and 113 was, I wouldn't really call it significant resistance, with price leading into that, but it just had been floating around that. Like, it moved so much quickly to get there. So there's always a tendency for price to sort of revert back to the mean a little bit. And that's what I was, concerned about. So, I've ended the month, not too badly. Pardon the sun's in everyone's eyes there as well. But, and last month was about the same. I think it was a little bit better. It was, I had a break-even-ish trade, which was about 0.3%. And then I had another, 2.5% winning trade as well. So we're over 5% for 2 months, and I'm back in the green after May. So May, eroded all my profits. I was actually negative on the year. So, and I went back and analyzed what was going on, and I was way too aggressive. And you just, for me, I prefer not to deal with being in a drawdown greater than 4% at one time. And I actually had 3 trades going at once, and that was a bit of a no-no for me personally. So learning curve for May. And I also was a little bit too eager on a position. I shorted the pound yen as well. Look, you've got to reflect, and that's end of the week update. when it comes to the end of the week for trading, you've got to really use the weekend to, go over the charts and prepare for the coming week. Set your alerts, or just check the chart every 4 hours, or I wouldn't really say every hour. I mean, if you've got a full-time job and you're checking the charts every hour, you're going to get burnt out doing that. So I do monitor the 1 hour time frames only on the majors. So, and I really mean like the top 6 pairs. I'll monitor the in regards to a potential trade. So that's what I'm doing in regards to that, because I do work quite a lot. I've got traders reaching out to me. We're chatting on Skype and things like that, all for free. But I'm, doing that as well. And I really enjoy that. And you end up, it's all consuming, plus the day job. So you've got to sort of remember that, and you've got to be a little bit smart about, not overreaching, because if you're monitoring like 20 pairs on the 1 hour time frame for, and this has been a system I back tested, where it will consolidate during the Asian session, then I'll look for, it's more of a trend though. I want it trending on the 4 hour. Like, I don't just want to jump in on something. Time and time again, you see it. The trend is your friend in regards to, more higher probability setups. You can make a lot of money reverse trading, and I'm fully aware of that. But at the same time, the people that sort of taught me made it clear that reverse trading is a little bit more challenging. So, you're more vulnerable to fake outs and things like that, because the institutions and the market makers, enjoy doing that. They know the literature that the beginner trader looks at, because I guess a reversal trade, it's like a value thing, because if it's gone down so low, like, wow, it's got to bounce. But time and time again, you see that, there's never such thing as it's too low or it's too high. You've got to look at the price action and sort of go from there. So if you're not really watching the price action, you're still like, I'm going to anticipate this move. In the end, it's going to catch up with you, and it's going to be a bit, painful. So, reversal trades are valid, but right now, not so much. I'm still just progressing that slowly, and I'm still just doing trend trading, really. So that's how I'm approaching things. Anyway, it's nice and congested here in Perth as well. It's chock-a-block, baby. Chock-a-block. I'll just get on this curb. But look, my week wasn't too bad though. Like, I've seen a couple guys make videos on how to approach losing trades and things like that, and that happens. You're gonna lose, and if you see material out there that says 100% or 90% win rate, you're gonna have to really assess that and say, that's not really possible. And that's right, it's not possible. So you've just got to hit the brakes a little bit, because as a beginner trader, and a couple of traders have reached out to me, and I do appreciate that. I'm definitely not an advanced trader though, but I do keep it very real. I have over 900 videos on YouTube, and documenting everything that I've sort of gone through, my trials and tribulations. I've day traded as well. I didn't trade with real money. It was all on a demo account. But what I will say is that is particularly challenging. But, the rewards are there. It's just you've got to really have a little bit more capital, though. You can't just sort of jump in with a teeny tiny account. That's just a little bit reckless. So, but, yeah. So I did have a plan for this week, and nothing really came about it. The Aussie CAD, I'm immediately seeing that's on support. We went over that in Trade Talk today with Connor. That's a potential short, but it is basing pretty nicely off the there's a support level it's resting on right now. So I might just pass on that currently, but it's going to be interesting to see what it does tonight. So one to keep an eye out on, Aussie CAD. But Euro, that's collapsed a little bit, but what I like to do is I'll have a higher time frame perspective. So you go to the daily chart on the Euro, and it's immediately clear that it's very choppy. And, you know, I don't really chase the quick profits in regards to the lower time frame entries, like less than the 1 hour time frame. So, and I normally don't have a set take profit. I am working with a set take profit though, with my back testing on the 1 hour system that I'm looking into. So that's something that I am exploring, because it is, you know, the trailing exit is psychologically a little painful at times, especially because to really use a trailing exit properly, you can't really trail it too tightly, or else you could get wicked out and things like that. But then having it wide, you're open to and vulnerable to, you're in profits pretty nicely, and then it just collapses again, and you're like, well, it's just, you know, you've really got to be pretty detached and just say, look, you know, I'll cop that. For example, I had a Euro US dollar sell trade earlier in May, and if you bring that chart up, you'll see it collapsed pretty nicely, and I caught that good, and I was very happy with it. But that, at one point, it was unrealized 5%, and yeah, so just over 5%. But the trailing exit, it moves in 2% increments. So at 6%, I would have gone and moved the stop loss to capture 4%. But I was still, you know, giving up quite a bit of gains there, because I only ended up taking 2%. So, yeah. You get over that, though. You can't, at the same time, though, one thing I am learning is you can't win them all in regards to there's setups everywhere, and especially if you're on social media and you see a lot of that where people are posting about capturing this and that and this. You've just got to trade not what's really comfortable to you, because nothing's going to be 100% comfortable, but you want to sort of, you know, if you're finding it extremely challenging, you know, you don't have to trade the lower time frames. Now, can you make a lot of money out of the lower time frames? You know, you can. Yeah, definitely. So, oh, that's a nice golf art. That was a really nice golf artist then. I used to own a golf art. I'm not in that now. I sold that, directed it to some trading funds. I'm so really happy I did that. You know, making your money work for you is key. I got a little distracted, but yeah. So the higher time frames, there's just less pain involved. Like if you're a beginner trader trading the lower time frames, it's tough. You know, because movements are a little more erratic, and your eye for the markets and the charts is not experienced. So your entries and exits, it's going to be, and everything moves so quickly. So I was talking to Connor, my good friend of mine, he trades as well, and he was saying, you know, he's been doing a 15-minute back test, and he took a live trade, and the trade was over in half an hour, and he's been in the Euro US dollar. He sold the Euro US dollar early June, and he's still in that trade. So, you know, for him it was like, wow. But when you do make a longer term trade, you actually really forget about it. Like, it's money that doesn't, you know, if you really need money from trading to live, you just can't do that. You really can't do that. You should stop that, because that's reckless, and psychologically it's very painful. You know, I mean, some people probably can do that, but I wouldn't go and say do that, because you've got to be calm. You've got to sort of be stress-free. The best trading you'll do is when you're sort of in a carefree state, and you're not stressed. And if you are, you really shouldn't trade, because you'll be making bad decisions and you'll be rushing things, and especially forcing trades. Like this week especially, it's just been, you know, the USD yen and then the Aussie dollar looked like it wanted to break out, and it's just been very slim pickings for opportunities. But I'm out of lights, guys, now, so what I'll do is I'll end the video. I will upload this. I was sort of contemplating whether or not I'll upload it, but I will. So I'll go into more detail about the week. I'll bring the charts. I just thought I thought the traffic would be slower than this, but it's not. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and another chart analysis video I'll do tomorrow. All right, bye for now.